Well, okie dokie. A man opposed to lager-lurgy measures who organised a slow road protest was arrested live on Facebook. You just can't write this stuff. Police had to smash a vehicle window after he refused to get out. Shocking, I know. He's a sovereign citizen. But luckily for us, he was live streaming it to Facebook when the police approached him. And in the video, a police officer asks him to roll down his vehicle's window and holds up a document saying that he has a warrant for his arrest. But he just repeatedly says, "I don't consent." And everyone knows that if you say "I don't consent" when a police officer puts you under arrest, that he can't do it. So let's start at the beginning and enjoy the events that unfold as this idiot shows us all how not to interact with law enforcement, especially when they're holding a warrant for your arrest. Please subscribe.
Alright everybody, so the cops have now pulled us over. Let's see what they have to say. Let's see what's going on today, guys.
See what they have to say? I think you know what they've got to say, don't you? Anyway, this is Tyler Berry, the organizer of an online group opposed to vaccine mandates and other COVID-19 measures. And he was charged after an incident at the home of Dr. Thomas Piggott, Peterborough's medical officer of health, earlier on this year. He was due to appear in court on February the 17th on charges of criminal harassment and intimidation of a health official, but he didn't turn up. So why the hell he's so surprised there's a warrant out for his arrest is completely beyond me. But like every other sovereign citizen I've ever talked about on the channel, he just makes things worse for himself and pretty much guarantees an arrest, even if he didn't have a warrant.
Can you roll the window down, please?
I did, I can hear you.
Hey, Tyler.
I don't consent. I don't consent.
I'm going to show you we have a warrant for your arrest.
I don't consent.
Well, he doesn't want to consent to an arrest warrant. I wonder why. Now, in Canada, you do have the right to remain silent, and even though this guy has the right, he seems to lack the ability. But this right is constitutionally protected in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. In most cases, you have no obligation to provide any information to the police. There are some exceptions to this rule, obviously. If you're arrested, for example, or if they have an arrest warrant, you must tell the police your name, address, and date of birth. It's the law. If you're the driver or registered owner of a motor vehicle, if you're participating in a regulated activity, for example, if you're a commercial truck driver, the laws and regulations that govern the regulated activity may require you to provide certain information to the investigators or regulators, or in this case, the police. In general, though, you do not need to give the police any information to assist a criminal investigation in any way. And why sovereign citizens haven't just learned to shut up is completely beyond me. But anyway, if you're unsure about whether you have to cooperate with the police or how much information you're legally required to give them, you should just consult with a lawyer and not a sovereign citizen Facebook group.
Okay, so we're going to open the door and I'm going to arrest you for that on the street.
I don't consent.
Okay?
I don't consent.
Okay.
What you're doing is illegal.
Okay.
I am not that corporation you have in your hand, sir. I do not consent to what you're saying.
Okay.
That's a corporation.
Okay.
My name is not spelt like that.
Okay.
It's a capital T, small y, small l, small e, and r. That's all capitals. That's not me.
Oh, this guy's an idiot. And I'll tell you why. Everybody knows that if you type or write something out in all caps, it just means you're angry or shouting. So when the judge filled this in, he must be so sick and tired of seeing your name that he just got a little bit cheesed off.
If everyone can come down right now to George Street or Water and George, the cops are trying to arrest me for absolutely nothing.
Who's he talking to? Oh yeah, he's live on Facebook, isn't he? How silly of me to forget. So what are you doing here, Tyler? Are you trying to get your viewers down to help with this situation? In what way exactly? Because far be it from me to speculate, but it would seem to me like you may be trying to incite some kind of violent interaction to rescue you from your arrest warrant.
Tyler, can you unlock the door, please?
I don't consent.
Okay. Tyler, you need to open the door because you're going to be placed under arrest on the strength of the warrant, okay?
I don't consent. What's your name and badge number?
My last name is Schubert and my badge number is 280.
What about you? Well, all of you? I don't consent. I don't consent to anything you're doing. I don't wish to cooperate with that corporation because People Police is a corporation to make money. I do not wish to cooperate with your corporation. Do you understand that?
This is all so confusing. Everything you're saying is completely irrelevant. It doesn't matter if police forces are considered to be corporations. It doesn't matter if they're from the dark side of the force. The fact still remains, you are a criminal, they have a warrant for your arrest. I really don't see your argument here.
Well, I don't agree with it, but
Peterborough Police is a corporation. I do not wish to do anything with your corporation. I do not consent to anything you're doing at all. I do not understand. I don't consent. I don't consent. I don't consent. I don't consent. Well, it does actually. I don't consent. You do what you gotta do. I don't consent.
Right, okay, fella, I'm starting to understand now. You don't consent. I don't really know what you think saying it repeatedly is going to achieve, but, you know, I'll reserve judgment for now.
Everyone's watching your criminal activity.
I've never been so confused while making a video. In what universe is arresting somebody with an outstanding arrest warrant criminal activity?
I will not open that door.
Yeah, I think we've got that now.
I am a man of flesh and blood under God's law.
Oh, great, him. It's always him. Anyway, the roots of the soft sit movement are racist and anti-Semitic. It was founded by William Potter Gale, a former member of the John Birch Society. Potter formed a group of anti-government Christian identity adherents who mistrusted state and federal officials. They believed that non-white people were not human and that Jews possessed a satanic plot to take over the world. They identify themselves as posse comitatus, which is Latin for power of the country, and centered around the idea that county sheriffs are the highest governmental authority. And yet they run around the country trying to act as if they're in the right and everyone else is in the wrong for obeying the laws set out in the countries that we live in. I wonder how many of these clowns actually know what the roots of the sovereign citizen movement are.
Yeah, is it worth it? You just said, is it worth it? You just said, is it worth it? You are a criminal. You're a criminal. You're a criminal.
We all heard it.
We heard that. You're live streamed to hundreds of people. You're a criminal. You're a criminal. You're a criminal.
Why couldn't you have done this at the rally if everyone
Why can you do it at the rally when people are watching? You're a criminal.
Over by ourselves?
I don't consent to anything you're doing. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's consensual stuff. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. You know what you're talking about. Learn your law, lady.
Again, I don't want to be nitpicky, but if I had to guess, I would say when she says, is it worth it, she's talking about what you're doing now. Acting like a petulant child and just screaming things out the window.
I'm a man of flesh and blood under God's law. Not your corporation law you call the Peterborough Police. You are a corporation. You understand that?
All right, that's very interesting. I don't think I've actually heard a sovereign citizen say anything like that before. Is he actually saying he doesn't have to obey the laws of the land? You know, the laws that are put in place to keep everybody safe and make sure that the whole world doesn't turn into chaos? Is he saying that the only laws he obeys are God's laws? So by extension, he obeys no laws at all. Because, well, you know why.
Oh, you keep putting that mask up. It's doing great for you, buddy. Yeah, it's cold. Wear this outside for...
Keep you warm.
Oh my God, dude.
Little mask.
Share this everywhere. Peterborough Police are corrupt. He just said, should we do this right now?
Is it worth
Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Dude, is the paycheck worth it? Is it that good for you guys right now? I will hold all of you accountable for crimes against humanity.
Yeah, of course you will. You can't even hold yourself accountable, you clown. That's a bit low, even for a sovereign citizen. Crimes against humanity are certain acts that are purposefully committed as part of a widespread or systematic policy directed against civilians in times of war or peace. Now, I can see why you would say that. Well, there's two reasons, really, in my opinion. Reason one is because you're a sovereign citizen and you think the man is out to get you. And reason two is because you're a... Well, there is no reason to, really, is there, apart from you being a pretty disgusting human being. But from what I've seen, that's a prerequisite for any sovereign citizen.
You understand that? I'll get all your names and badge numbers, eventually, and I'll hold you all accountable for crimes against humanity. You're criminals. Criminal.
How many officers
You're a criminal. Yeah, you're criminal.
You're wanted.
I don't consent.
You saw him when he got to the rally this morning.
I was at the rally all day today. Why don't you come get me then?
Sorry?
At the rally down there. Why don't you come get me then?
Why do you wait till we
Why do you wait till I leave and harass me and stalk me like weird people? I thought you were supposed to uphold the Canadian Constitution, the Canadian Bill of Rights,
20 officers behind
the human rights, right?
I'd say that's a perfectly fair question. Why didn't they arrest him when he was at the rally? Well, for me, it just comes down to common sense and asking my brother who's a police officer. The reason they probably didn't arrest him at the rally is because they wanted to arrest him with as little fuss as possible. And considering the way he's behaving now, can you imagine how badly this would have escalated if these police officers had approached him and tried to arrest him in front of an angry mob?
Is there enough of you? Look at the tax dollars, everybody. Holy fuck, look at them all. They're everywhere. Look at them all. You guys are a fucking disgrace to the badge, the Canadian. Oh my God, you guys are gross. Gross. Look at them all, guys.
But I can't believe this is happening. I actually agree with the sovereign citizen again. It is ridiculous. It is disgusting. I can't believe I'm on your side. But you've got to ask yourself one question. Whose fault is it? Is it the police's fault for massively overreacting? I don't think so. Or is it your fault for being a sovereign citizen douchebag who, for one, didn't turn up to court when he was supposed to, for threatening and trying to intimidate a health official? Or... I'm losing my place now, but it's your fault, you clown.
Look at them all. Holy moly. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 cruisers. You guys are nuts, man.
Look, we got all our support.
Yeah, here comes a convoy, buddy. You guys are looking so dumb. So dumb.
Oh yeah, the police that are just there to do their job and serve their search warrant look really dumb. Definitely not the petulant child that's locked himself inside his car and is continuously screaming, "I don't consent," out the window. Definitely not you.
I don't consent.
Well, maybe if you had consented, you wouldn't need a new window for your car now.
Yeah, good one, guys. Smart, smart. You guys are very smart, eh? Absolute criminals. Criminals. Absolute fucking criminals, guys.
I'll say it, but no sovereign citizen that stumbles across this video is gonna care anyway. Was it worth it?
Yep, good job, guys. You'll all be held accountable. Come on out. Come on out.
Must be a professional soccer player because nobody threw him on the ground. He just fell down there by himself.
I'm videotaping this.
No, you can tape, but you can't interfere. He's
I'm
under
going right
arrest. He's under arrest, so you don't want to get arrested too, right?
He's such a criminal, isn't he? All of this has to be here for him.
Why are you surrounding my girlfriend for?
They don't want me to get arrested too, Tyler.
Oh, you guys are fun with dummies, aren't you? Protest anymore? Dummies, man. I don't consent.
Block the street off down there.
I don't consent. I don't understand. I don't consent. I don't understand.
Okay.
I don't consent. I don't understand. I don't consent. I don't understand. I don't consent. I don't understand.
LD, you ride with Shuby?
Right, over 600 people watching this. Good job, Peter Police.
There was a warrant for his arrest, correct? You understand that?
Sovereign citizens are just so smart, aren't they? Thanks for watching, everybody. Love you, bye.
Alright, watch this next. But before you do, make sure you subscribe. By order of the Creaky Blinder.